Do you remember you and McCall much?
I remember you and McCall sitting backwards in a chair.
Yeah,
He wrote some beautiful songs.
sure did.
Spring Hill mining disaster was one of them.
Well, speaking of names and naming your daughter Maggie, you weren't always known as Ramblin Jack. How did that come about?
Well, that was back around 1954. I went to Los Angeles with Woody Guthrie and Billy Fair in a car, and ended up staying in Topanga Canyon at Will Gear's place. Will was an actor, friend of Woody's, and there was a folk singer named Odetta who came to see me at the show, and we became good friends. And she lived in Los Angeles, Sunset Boulevard, and I purchased an old Model A Ford, 1928 Ford, for only $15 because the engine was seized up. It took me 10 days to get the engine running. I found an old man who lived in Hollywood. He had about 5 Model A Fords, and he had sort of created a congregation of old people with Model A Fords, and I was one of them. And he lived right across the street from Odetta. So I was visiting the Model A guy and tuning up my brakes and so forth. They have mechanical brakes, didn't have hydraulic brakes, 1928. And then I'd go across the street and visit Odetta and tell her stories about my Model A Ford adventures. And her mother must have thought that was peculiar. The very second time I showed up at Odetta's door, I knocked on the door, and her mother saw me through the little peephole in the door. And she opened the door a crack, and I heard her say, "Odetta, Ramblin Jack is here." And somehow it from that seedling, the story traveled. And one day in Paris, singing on the street with Daryl Adams, Bobby Newworth, who later became Bob Dylan's road manager, and he was also an excellent painter, Bobby Newworth, and wrote some songs. He wrote, "Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz?" I don't know if it had any effect on the economy, but he was a colorful character, and he called me Ramblin Jack. I don't remember how he found out about it, but the word spread, and pretty soon I was being called by that name all over the place.